you do on your chemistry test?
92.
You slept.
Just 2 points.
Less than A's wouldn't have been acceptable in their minds because they wanted the best for their children, and that's what they expected from them. And they believed that Jennifer and her brother were capable of that.
In math?
Top of the class.
Jennifer, dinner's ready.
We better go, Dad.
Pan was so keen on his daughter excelling. He would tutor Jennifer during the summers 3 years ahead of herself in math.
What's for dinner?
Chicken noodle.
My favorite.
I know.
Jennifer was close with her mother and not as close with her father. He was more of the firm one who put a lot of pressure on them, where her mother was more of the lax parent.
Where's Felix?
We've got music practice tonight.
How's your piano? Are you going to be ready for the next grade exam?
Yeah, I'm all ready, Dad.
Good.
Mr. Pan liked his kids to keep a higher stature and encourage them to get really high grades. But the way she described her relationship with her father was that she could never please him.
Thanks, Mom. That was great.
Homework?
It's all done.
Then you can get ready for your next test. Her grades are slipping.
I've had all A's.
But beyond the watchful gaze of her parents, Jennifer Pan's life was about to change when she met her first boyfriend, Daniel Wong.
They met in high school. They went to the same high school, Mary Ward Catholic High School, and they were both in the band together.
And Jennifer had some sort of attack. It was deemed an asthma attack, and she couldn't breathe.
Are you okay?
And she said countless times that Daniel saved her life by coaching her on how to breathe.
You're gonna be all right. Just calm down. You're breathing too fast. In. Out, slowly. That's it. Look, put your hand here. Okay? Easy. In. Slowly. That's it.
And Jennifer deemed it as a life-altering experience.
Thank you.
I'm Daniel.
Jennifer.
And from that moment on, they clicked, I guess. They had a moment. They began dating when she was 16 and he was turning 17. It was the summer before grade 11.
But Jennifer kept her relationship with Daniel a secret from her parents.
Boyfriends weren't allowed in her household as far as she was concerned. So when Daniel came along, he was kept a secret.
Mom?
Because, well, she felt he would never be accepted.
And as Jennifer's relationship began to consume her attention, her schoolwork began to suffer.
So her grades began to slip.
And a B is literally not acceptable in a strict Asian home. An A is the only thing that will do.
Jennifer Pan's first move was to copy and paste her report cards and to make them appear higher than they were.
I don't think she marked herself, graded herself below 86. And then they were straight A's.
Inevitably, Jennifer's parents, Han and Big Pan, would expect their daughter to advance to university after graduating high school.
So?
Tell him.
Mom, come on. It's not a big deal.
Come on, tell him.
I got a place. At Ryerson.
Isn't that wonderful, honey?
Very good.
Thanks, Dad.
This is the start of a great future for you.
Desperation passes. Jennifer's father, Han, was naturally delighted to hear of his daughter's acceptance to Ryerson.
Who's this for? That's for you, from your father. Open it.
And Jennifer was rewarded accordingly.
He's so pleased about you going to Ryerson.
Thanks, Mom.
So in the fall of 2004, Jennifer began going to university.
Big day for my little girl.
Mom.
She was, leaving in the morning, taking the bus all the way down to Toronto.
And you left Topaz's number somewhere?
Yeah, it's on the fridge, I told you.
She lived with a roommate, Topaz.
Work hard.
Yes, Dad.
Take care, honey. I love you.
Love you.
Unbeknown to her parents, Jennifer had sold them a lie. She was not staying downtown with her friend Topaz.
What are you doing today?
Whatever I want.
You think your parents bought it?
She said she lived with Topaz, who she was never living with.
Totally. Why wouldn't they?
You trust Topaz?
Yeah, she'll cover for me. So I can spend all my time with you.
She was spending a lot of time in Ajax at Daniel Wong's parents' house.
His parents allowed her to sleep in his room.
You're just lucky my parents like you.
I know. Can you imagine if my dad found you in my room?
But staying with Daniel was not the only lie Jennifer had told her parents.
I need to get to the library to do some work.
She had never won a place at Ryerson University and had not even graduated from high school.
I'll finish my shift around 7.
She began acting as if she was going to university to her parents. She would spend hours at the library researching as if she was doing homework and writing down notes.
So that if anyone ever questioned her, she would be able to throw something out at them. It was dedication at its sort of highest level.
Pan had woven an entire network of lies since faking her high school report cards.
Top of the class.
Big day for my little girl.
And instead of living downtown and attending Ryerson University, Jennifer was living with her boyfriend, Daniel Wong.
What are you doing today?
Whatever I want.
You think your parents bought it?
Yeah, totally.
To keep up the masquerade, Jennifer produced fake university report cards to keep her parents unaware.
She was spending a lot of time in Ajax at Daniel Wong's parents' house and living there part-time and coming home on the weekends.
Have you missed Mom's cooking?
Absolutely.
So tell us, how's life on campus?
It's great. The classes are amazing and I'm learning a lot.
And your grades? Good job.
After years of living with Daniel instead of her roommate and years of pretending to go to university, eventually a time came for her to graduate. So instead of graduating from a university she never attended, Jennifer instead bought a fake diploma online.
How much is it?
500.
Does it look real?
Looks bang on to me. And the reviews are good.
He's gonna want to come to the ceremony, you know. You gotta think of something good.
it came time for Jennifer to graduate, and Han wanted to attend.
Once again, Jennifer sold her parents a lie to prevent the truth from being exposed.
This is basically his raison d'etre for her whole life, is to see this moment.
One ticket? This is crazy.
It's the allocation. I don't make the rules.
She came up with a lie saying that there was only one ticket available and she didn't want to have to choose which parent would come.
Well, one of us can go.
I don't want to make the choice. One of you will get upset. I'll just give it to a girlfriend whose parents came over from Hong Kong.
So thoughtful.
She'll take loads of pictures, I promise.
But she promised pictures and the diploma.
I can stand in the back and watch.
Dad, you need to have a ticket. You can't just turn up.
You know, he's just so proud of you. The new generation graduating university. It's a big day.
I know.
Jennifer's parents, Han and Big Pan, had bought the lie. But once again, Jennifer was forced to lie again to cover her tracks.
After she had graduated, she decided to tell her parents another fib. So she decided that she would be working as a volunteer at Sick Kids Hospital.
You're so lucky. What an opportunity.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to start.
Hold on. I think your father wants to speak to you.
How's the money?
It's an internship.
Well, you must be paid something.
I am.
It's just basic wages to start with.
Okay, well, see you soon. Your mom wants to talk.
So we see you on Friday after work, right?
You'll take the bus?
Yeah. I'll see you at dinner on Friday.
Okay, bye.
What's the matter?
Just... never mind.
But Jennifer's father was beginning to have doubts about his daughter.
Han Pan was suspicious and wanted to know where her uniform was, where her pass key was. So he told her one day, I'm driving you downtown and I'm going to drop you off.
I can take the bus, you know.
Just want to see where you work and drop you off.
You know where I work. It's the huge hospital in the middle of town.
Don't worry, we won't stay. We'll just drop you off and say hi.
She's in the back seat. She had no idea what she was going to do.
Stop here, okay?
Wait.
She bolted, ran out of the car and ran into the emergency room waiting area.
Go, follow her.
Big Ha went and followed her daughter through the door but couldn't see her.
She's gone. I can't find her.
It turns out that Jennifer spent about 2 hours in the waiting room hiding for fear of being caught. But this raised suspicion enough. So the next morning, they called Topaz, her fictitious roommate.
This is Jennifer's father. I need to speak to Jennifer. It's an emergency. Where is she?
And Topaz told her parents that Jennifer wasn't there and that they didn't live together.
When was the last time you saw my daughter? Is she?
Jennifer's mother ended up picking her up at Steele's to bring her home. And upon arriving there, she saw Jennifer getting out of a car and kissing a young boy goodbye. And this is when all of her lies began to unravel.
How dare you lie to us?
How long have you been seeing this boy?
Years.
Did you even go to Ryerson? Oh my God. I knew it. I knew she was lying.
Sorry.
You disgraced this family.
You have to fix this.
The choice is simple. You stay here, you live in this house, you figure it out and we'll support you. Or you leave this house and be with him and you're gone for good.
It was an ultimatum. You can leave and go and be with Daniel, or you can come home, make things right with your family, and go back to school.
You live in this house, you live by our rules. And that means no more of this.
She decided to come home and do right by her parents. There was too much shame involved with her leaving home and going off to be with this guy.
Night, Mom.
Whilst Jennifer applied to retake her exams, she told her parents she'd get a job locally.
She told her father she was working at the pharmacy in Walmart.
Where's Jennifer?
At work.
Do you believe her?
Come on.
I'm serious. How do we know she's not lying?
He was suspicious right away, not only because of her history. She hadn't graduated. So how do you get a job in pharmacy without a degree?
I'm sorry, I've learned my lesson. I need proof. How was work?
Good. Thanks.
Walmart pharmacy?
Yeah.
I've been wondering how that's even possible without a degree.
I showed you my pay stubs.
He kept pushing. And when she brought home the pay stub, he said, okay, well, now show me where they've deposited this money into your bank account.
Dad, why are you acting crazy?
Show me. As I expected, no doubt seeing Daniel Wong. You are never to see him ever again!
This is your fault. You drove me to
You
this.
do nothing but take from this family. We have done everything for you. Everything! As long as I'm alive, you will not see Daniel Wong again.
Her father was furious and gave her another ultimatum. She had to cease contact with Daniel Wong or wait until I'm dead to be with him.
I can't do this anymore, Jen. Your parents will never accept me.
She was heartbroken with not being able to be with Daniel.
We can't see each other like normal couples. We're always hiding and sneaking about. I can't do this anymore.
What are you saying?
We'll always be friends.
So they made a pact to always remain friends, and Daniel did move on with another woman.
Monday, November the 8th, 2010 was a typical day in the Pan household. Pan had returned from work.
Pan then goes up to read news on the computer. And Jennifer goes to watch her regular shows with one of her best friends, Adrian.
Her mother went out for her line dancing class at around 8 o'clock.
Okay, Jen. I'm going out dancing. I'll be back later. And your father's upstairs reading, okay?
Sure, Mom. See you later.
See you.
Han retires to bed, and Jennifer says goodbye to Adrian after the shows are finished.
Call me, okay? See ya.
Then calls her friend Edward.
Really? She said that?
Jennifer's mom returns home shortly before 10 p.m.
And I'm back. I'm just gonna soak up my feet for a little bit and I'll be up, okay?
She changes into her pajamas. Her father's still sleeping at this point. So Jennifer's sitting on her bed talking to her friend. And at 10:14, 3 intruders walk into the door of the Pan residence. One goes to her mother and 2 head upstairs.
Pan is woken up by the feeling of cold metal against his face, and when he opens his eyes, he doesn't have his glasses on, but he sees an intruder and hears the whisper, "Where's the money?"
Jennifer states as she's coming out of her door,
Oh my God.
there's a gun in her face.
I want your money. Now.
Jennifer and her parents are all at gunpoint. Jennifer is brought downstairs toward the living room, but she's never brought in there. Instead, she's marched along the kitchen.
I don't know.
Shut your mouth.
Her father tells them that he only has $60 in his wallet.
Here, I have maybe $60 in my wallet.
Jennifer's brought back upstairs to look through the safe and whatever other belongings were there.
Get up, both of you, now. Get down. Sit down.
Parents are brought downstairs. Blankets are thrown over their heads.
We gotta go now. We've been in too long.
Han is shot twice in the head, once through the eye. Big Pan is shot in the shoulder, in the base of the neck, and then point blank in the back of the head.
With the sound of the intruders leaving the home, Jennifer pulled out her phone from her back pocket to call the emergency services.
Help me, please. I need help. Where are you, ma'am? Helen Avenue, I think we need to go. Ma'am, calm down. What's going on? Some people broke into our house and stole all his money. Okay, ma'am, where are you? Avenue Road? Yes. Avenue Road? Yes. Can you spell the street name for me, please? Dad? Ma'am. Yes. Can you spell the street name for me, please? Dad?
During the 911 call, you can hear screams from her father as he wakes up and comes to after being shot.
Dad? I'm calling 911!
Hello? Hello? Yes? Ma'am, I need to know your address. Avenue Road, can you please spell it for me? Helen Avenue, my dad just went outside screaming. Ma'am, can you spell the street address for me, please?
H-E-L-E-N.
Someone broke in and I heard shots like pops. I don't know what's happening. I'm tied upstairs. And I think my dad went outside and he's screaming.
Miraculously, Han Pan had survived the multiple gunshots. He clambered out of the basement and exited the house to find help.
The call came into our 911 center, and the dispatcher on the phone would have been dispatching every available officer to that residence on Helen Avenue.
Do you see anyone there? Yeah, I hear them. Hello?
The officers went in, announced that they were there.
Hello? Police officers?
And could hear Jennifer upstairs screaming.
I don't know where my mom is.
When officers went downstairs, they found Big Pan lying on the floor with obvious signs of trauma. She was vital signs absent, and there was quite a scene of blood and other things. Jennifer Pan was treated at the scene by paramedics, and then she was taken to our 5-district station in Markham to provide a statement on what took place as a victim, and probably the best witness we had at the time.
Han Pan was barely alive. He underwent surgery, and then he was placed in a medically induced coma. they weren't sure if he was going to live or survive.
Jennifer, in her first statement to police, advised us that 3 men entered into the home. They demanded money, and they separated her from her parents.
Took me upstairs and tied me up. They had guns, and they were asking me for money.
We do have home invasions in our region that do involve firearms, and it's not completely uncommon when it comes to home invasion robberies.
I heard 2 pops. Scream. I yelled out for her.
So our investigators had very little to work on, and the investigation went on from that point, largely in part due to the physical evidence that was at the scene as well.
The next morning, on November 9th, Jennifer was brought back to the hospital to pay dues to her father.
Is he asleep?
He's in an induced coma while we assess his head injuries. We're doing everything we can, Miss Pam.
Thank you.
To the doctor's amazement, the next day Han Pan regained consciousness.
A dramatic turn in this investigation was when Han Pan was able to speak in hospital. And almost immediately after he regained consciousness and came out of the induced coma, investigators were there to talk to him, and he provided a statement.
Do you remember anything about their appearance?
Not much. There was a man. He kept asking where the money was.
Give me your money, give me your wallet.
And they led me out of the bedroom.
Get up!
Anything else?
As I crossed the landing, I turned to look back, and one of the gunmen was talking to Jennifer. They were talking as if they knew each other.
Are you implicating your daughter?
Have you spoken to Jennifer's boyfriend? His name is Daniel Wong.
I believe what changed the direction of the investigation was Daniel Wong.
I went out with Jennifer. How long for? Years, I guess.
He's sharing information.
It was kind of a secret from the parents.
He tells the police all about her lies, tells them about her educational career. He tells them about her staying with him and her parents not being happy. So when Jennifer comes back for the second interview, they ask her a lot more probing questions. And Jennifer starts opening up. She stops being so circumspect, where she's only sharing certain information. She starts telling them all about her personal problems, I guess you could call them.
Are you close?
Not really.
Why not?
He's kind of tough on me about school and stuff. We didn't really see eye to eye.
All right.
In the second interview that Jennifer had with investigators, her story was quite similar, but there were some discrepancies that came up between her first statement and her second statement.
Police began to focus their attention on Jennifer and Daniel Wong.
The police found an iPhone at her house when they were doing their investigation. That phone was originally registered to Daniel Wong, and her original cell phone, they began combing through the records of who she was speaking to.
They simply took the iPhone, did a search, and found the last 5 people to call Jennifer. And in that search, they found David Mulvaginam's phone.
David Mulvaginam was known to police. His phone records linked police to his friends, Lanford Crawford and Eric Carty, also a known offender. Their cell phone records placed Mulvaginam and Carty in Markham on the night of the murder.
Through finding David Mulvaginam, they found Carty and Crawford. And once they had their phones, it was only a matter of time.
Police were sure that with the help of Daniel Wong, Jennifer had hired a gang to assassinate her parents.
Their interview starts off with something called the Reed technique. He befriends her, opens her up, has her speaking about her life and her boyfriend, her love life, her parents.
It was really hard. It was like living in a prison.
Before he starts to really question her on what happened that night, trying to get her to admit that she hired these men.
Everything points to you hiring these guys to kill your folks. You need to help me out here.
It wasn't supposed to happen.
What wasn't?
The home invasion.
Why not?
Because I had canceled it.
Pan and Big Pan were shot in a home invasion. Pan recovered and implicated his daughter and her boyfriend.
One of the gunmen was talking to Jennifer.
The police investigation revealed Jennifer had hired a gang to perform the deed.
They simply took the iPhone, did a search, and found the last 5 people to call Jennifer.
In her third police interview, Jennifer began to reveal her own version of what happened.
It wasn't supposed to happen.
What wasn't?
Home invasion.
Why not?
Because I had canceled it.
In a shocking revelation, Jennifer admitted to hiring the hitmen, but there was a further surprise for the police.
Not to kill my parents. To kill me.
In that third interview, she had basically told our investigators that she had hired people to come and kill her as part of a planned suicide.
Called it off. They kept harassing me. They wanted some money. A cancellation fee.
She had tried to cancel it. When she couldn't come up with a cancellation fee, they ended up invading the home and shooting her parents.
On November 22nd, 2010, Jennifer was arrested during her third statement to our investigators.
Alongside Jennifer Pan, Daniel Wong, Lanford Crawford, Eric Carty, and David Mulvaginam were arrested for their part in the murder.
The first day of trial was overwhelming. There was a lot of people in the body of the court. So there was newspapers and news stations.
I don't think they had seen a trial that big in a long time, as high profile as that.
The Crown spent the majority of the day doing their opening statements. And the first thing that they played was the 911 call. And I think that made everybody in the courtroom silent.
911, help me, please. I need help. Where are you, ma'am? I have you. I think we should go. Ma'am, calm down. What's going on?
I think the 911 call was pretty convincing. She does sound pretty terrified, I think, at the beginning of that call. She's fumbling her name and her address over and over again.
What's your name for me, please? Dad?
The point where her father starts screaming, I think you can hear a change in her voice.
Dad? Ma'am.
I think in her head she was thinking, why is my dad awake and why is he on the street? He's supposed to be down in the basement dead.
She was getting questions from 3 other defense lawyers and 3 Crown attorneys. So she's in the hot seat.
The prosecution sought to paint a picture of forbidden love and family betrayal.
I can't do this anymore.
What are you saying?
Unable to be with the man she loved, Jennifer Wong had sought a final solution to eliminate what stood between her and Daniel Wong.
You are never to see him ever again!
Her parents. Extensive police work revealed that Jennifer had attempted to hire a hitman on a previous occasion. Jennifer met with Ricardo, a friend's roommate, to discuss the plot.
Rick was to shoot her father outside his workplace, but there was nothing else discussed other than that. No maps, no names. So it was very amateur. She paid him a couple $1,000s, perhaps naively thinking that he was going to actually do something. And he took the money and ran.
I gave you the money, so pick up the phone. Damn it.
Undeterred, Jennifer asked Daniel Wong for help.
I need your help. You know people.
Not like that.
I'm serious, Daniel. You need to help me. You don't know what it's like at home.
It can't be that bad.
You have no idea.
I can't.
Initially, he told her no. He said, you're crazy.
Just put me in touch with someone.
Eventually, something changed, and Daniel Wong ended up passing Jennifer's number on to an associate of his who they sold marijuana together, and he went by the name Homeboy, but his real name was Lenford Roy Crawford.
In the days that followed, Daniel Wong gave Jennifer a second phone to continue her dialogue with Homeboy, also known as Lenford Crawford.
You need to stay off grid. If you're making calls to Homeboy or anyone related,
$10,000 was the price of the supposed hit. It was then, in the late summer, that the plan became to go into motion with Homeboy and his associates, Eric Carty, David Milbaginum, and others. In the morning on November 8th, Jennifer receives a text message from Homeboy that says 2 after work will be game time. And essentially we come to know that this is the day of the murder.
During the trial, the prosecution laid out what they believed were the true events leading to the home invasion.
With Jennifer's father sleeping upstairs, her mother's out at a line dancing class, and Jennifer is sitting on the couch having contact with a phone that's traveling east on the 401 and then north on the 404 towards her residence.
And there's 2 calls made from David Milbaginum's phone to the Pan house.
Can I call you back?
Jennifer receives a phone on her secret iPhone from the David Milbaginum phone to tell her that they were close, they were in the area. Jennifer unlocks the front door of the house, and as they're coming around the corner, she flicks the light on for 5 seconds and turns it off. And that is said to be a signal to the intruders where her house was and that she was ready.
The prosecution argued that the home invasion was purely a smokescreen to cover up an assassination.
Come in here. I've got the cash. Tie me to the banister.
Having handed over the cash, Jennifer was tied up
All set.
and waited for the gang to leave before calling 911.
Honor thy father, thy mother. Murdering your parents to be with your boyfriend is one of the most shocking crimes in Canadian history.
911, help me, please, I need help. Where are you, ma'am? I think we should go.
I think that once the prosecution brought forward the lies about school, work, her relationship, and the phone records, the text records and the phone call records, that's what actually made the connections between Jennifer and Lenford Crawford. It was difficult for anyone to believe an alternate story, or that Jennifer was this innocent girl.
All things considered, she performed quite well on the stand. But having said that, the circumstances of her story were just unbelievable.
The jury deliberated for 4 days and then returned with their verdicts, which were guilty for each of the individuals that were accused on all counts.
The relationship with Daniel, it was an obsessive one. She wanted to be with her one true love. That overrode any sort of love for her parents.
Handpan said in his statement that when his wife died, he felt like he was dead as well, and that his daughter was dead to him.
These aren't evil people here, they're just human beings that made very poor decisions. And I think the jury felt that in a certain way, because at least 3 jury members were crying at the end.